What is up, YouTube? It's TF Collector here, and today we're going to be continuing our journey through the Transformers Studio Series line by reviewing Transformers Studio Series 05 Voyager class Optimus Prime. So before we get into the figure itself, let's go ahead and take a look at the package he comes in. You have a picture of Optimus there on the front. He is number 5 of the Studio Series Optimus Prime there. He is from Revenge of the Fallen, ages 8 and up, Hasbro. Transformers down the side, Generations logo there, Takara logo there. On this side, he is 05 of Studio Series. Nice profile image there. He is a Voyager class. On the other side, you have that same image zoomed more out with an awesome Energon blade there, authentic there, and the Autobot logo there. On the back of the box, he is big screen inspired with your nice product images there from the Force Fight from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Optimus Prime transforms in 35 steps. Optimus Prime fearlessly takes on Decepticons, risking it all for freedom. You have some other figures here already reviewed. Bumblebee and Stinger reviews are live on the channel. Starscream will be next. The backdrop is included. We'll take a look at that at the end of the video. More Hasbro logoing there. On the top, you have Revenge of the Fallen and my face. On the bottom, you have a barcode. Now, before we dive into the review, he does, of course, include his instruction manual, 05 Studio Series, Optimus Prime from Revenge of the Fallen, Voyager Class 8 and up, Transformers, Generations there on the back, Takara and Hasbro. Now, moving on to the figure itself. This figure, it is a mixed bag, because at the time it was an awesome Optimus Prime figure compared to what we had been getting, but now, seeing what they've done with the Studio Series, especially with Optimus Prime, there have been some better renditions which really bring out the flaws in this figure, which we will point out throughout the review. But let's first take a look at the detailing on this figure itself. You can see you have an Autobot logo there on the front of the grille. You have some nice grille details all throughout, some nice headlights sculpted in there. You do, of course, have your blue flames on the tires and on the hood, with your red down through there. You have some other pieces here. You have the smokestacks done in silver. One of my complaints with this figure, we'll get to that in a second. You have a black windshield going on there with some nice gunmetal gray across the top. Down the side, you can see the wheels are done in black. All black plastic. Down through here, some nice details, some steps there, I think you hold gas in these. I'm not real sure. I'm not a truck person, so I don't know. Some more detailed bits. 2 wheels on the back, which is very nice. You do have his feet, which kind of sucks, but the trailer hitch is sculpted in there, which looks nice. Some more molded detailing down through there. On the back here, you do have some tail lights sculpted in and some other sculpted detailing. This side looks the same as the first. You can see you do get those flames there on the side. The top of the figure looks like that. The bottom of the figure looks like that. I do have a problem here where this piece doesn't want to stay tabbed in because the tab was not sculpted right. Either the tab or the slot wasn't, so it doesn't tab in all the way, which can be a little frustrating at times. So as I previously mentioned, I do have a couple flaws with this vehicle mode and the figure as a whole. First of all, the feet are just hanging out in the back, which kind of sucks. Second of all, these smokestacks should have been able to twist up or something. They're way too short. They look absolutely terrible, but they didn't even fix that on the later renditions of this figure. That's still going to be a complaint in those videos too. That's always really bothered me. And just overall, they went with a really dark tone here because they were trying to match the Force Fight, and I don't think it really came out well on the figure. It doesn't look that good. It's very dark coloring. I mean, they have the blue and red, but it's very dark, and the gray is just so dark, and it just overall, it's very dull. It doesn't look that entertaining, if you get what I'm saying there. But he does come with 2 accessories. They are 2 of the same thing, and they are the Energon axes. Here is one of them. You can see it is done in a transparent plastic there with the gunmetal gray all through there. Translucent, transparent. I watched too many MGO reviews, so I don't remember which one's the actual word, but it's that kind of plastic. You can see through it. There you go. You got that gunmetal gray all throughout and the orange plastic. You do get 2 of these, which of course is movie accurate and very nice to see. And they do store in the vehicle mode. Basically how you do this, as you can see, there's a slot there and a tab there, and that will tab right to there, and that will tab right there, and that's the sword. It's not super elegant, but it's not terrible. And of course his wheels do roll, so you can roll them around with some Energon X's on the back. Now, since we haven't really taken a look at any figures from the Revenge of the Fallen movie, we don't really have any comparisons to give this guy here in vehicle mode, and as I've previously stated, we're only going to be doing comparisons with figures that I've reviewed on this channel, and seeing that we've only done deluxes so far, none of them have been from Revenge of the Fallen, I don't think any of them are deemed necessary for a vehicle mode comparison. I will throw in some robot mode comparisons later on, but for now, we're just going to transform this guy into his robot mode. So the first thing we're going to do is, of course, remove the Energon blades from the back, and we can just sit those off to the side. Now we're going to come here and untab these pieces from the side and swing those up. You can see there's a tab there that will tab into that slot there on that gas cap. Now what we want to do is come to the sides here and untab the wheel, and this whole section will swing out. You see there is a post there that will go into a slot there, and there is also a tab slot connection. You can see there's sort of a notch there for that tab to go into. Bring that one out as well. Now what we can do is just fold these over and into the leg, like so. Do the same thing here. Fold it over and into the leg, like so. Now come under here, take these blue shoulder pieces and flip those around, like so. And then what we can do is we can take this whole section and bring it down, and it will clip into place right like that. Now what we want to do is come here and we can swing these pieces up, like so. Do the same thing on this side. Swing that up. Now you can take this whole section here and untab that and bring that back. Now these pieces here will rotate out like so and like so, and we can leave that up there for now. Now what we can do is come here to these pieces. They are tabbed in to this top roof section, and basically just get your nail in there and swing these pieces out like so. Swing. Mine are very, very tight, as you can see. Kind of have to fool with it to get that out, but swing those pieces out. Do the same thing on this side. Get your finger under there. See, there's kind of a tab that just notches underneath that roof section. Swing those pieces out, and what you're going to want to do is grab this here and swing that out as well. You can see there's a tab that goes into a slot back in there. Now what we're going to do is just bring this back for now. We will need to do one thing with the head before we complete that part of the transformation. So to do that, we're just going to untab that, and you can see those two tabs there just go into those slots there, and come here and push this piece down and flip the head out of there. Now we can finish this back section up. We can come under here. You might want to go ahead and use, well, that rather does not slide up on this figure, so we're gonna have to fiddle around a little more, but we're gonna bring these pieces back first. Bring that piece back. Bring those together like so. Come here to this, bring this back, come here to this one, and bring it back. And now you're gonna want to kind of keep your finger on those while you do this next step, that way it doesn't come undone. You're swinging, oh, it came undone anyways, like I was saying. You're gonna want to swing these pieces around. Now they kind of do move with these pieces because they are all on this same sort of smokestack. The smokestack kind of makes up all the hinges for all these different pieces, so it is kind of difficult to get it all to stay together at times, but that is what it should look like when you are done there. Now what you want to do is you want to come up here to the front, and you want to split this section and swing these out. Swing out. Now these, you can see they're on a hinge here, will rotate up and swing back, and there is a tab there on the smokestack that will go into that slot right there. So just bring those back and tab those in. Do the same thing here. Swing it around, bring it back, tab it in, and that is going to situate your shoulders for the rest of transformation. Now to finish up the transformation, the first thing we're going to want to do is come here and swing the arms forward on the elbow joints. There we can then split this whole section like so, and these will swing out like so. They are tabbed together via these two tabs. And now we can swing the whole section up, and you can see tab and slot there into the base of the head like so. And now to lock all this in, what you're going to want to do is use that tab there, and there is a slot right under there, and you're just going to want to tab that into that side and do the same thing on the other side. Tab that one into that side, and then we can bring the arms down, get them out of the way, bring them up to get them out of the way, and we can finish up with the lower body. So rotate at the waist like that, split the legs like that, rotate the feet around like that and like that. Come to the sides, take the wheels, rotate them up, take this piece, push it down over that wheel, do the same thing on this side, take that piece, swing it up, take that piece, push it over that wheel. You can bring these pieces out, even though while you fiddle with it, those might come undone again, so you might just want to wait to the final step to do that. But to finish up with the arms, you're just going to want to swing these pieces out, swing this piece up so you can bring this fist down, then rotate at the bicep and swing this piece all the way around. Come on, swing around. There we go, swing that piece all the way around. You can see that came undone, but that is how you want that arm to look when you're done. Now this piece does have a tab that's supposed to go into that wrist joint right there, but it doesn't really stay together on mine, so I don't really mention doing it because it doesn't stay together. But you can try if you have this figure and want to try on your copy. Maybe it'll work for you. Rotate that around, and there you have Prime almost all done. The last thing to do is come to the back here, and basically on this figure they really improve this on later figures, but basically what they're going to want you to do for this figure is they're basically going to say that this is done. I say that looks terrible. So what I do is I bring this up and bring this down, and then rotate these pieces up like that, sort of. You kind of have like a condensed backpack look going on. But once you have all that done, that is the Studio Series 05 Optimus Prime in robot mode. And with all said and done, and after a not exactly fun transformation, I'll be completely straightforward. It's not the most fun. It's not terrible, but it gets the job done. It's not great also, but we'll get into that in the final thoughts of this figure. But for now, let's just take a look at the details on this Optimus figure. You can see the head sculpt is very nice. You have a lot of that gunmetal gray with the blue eyes and the blue head, nicely detailed. The chest is something I have a big problem with because they really improved this in later versions, and I think that this one just does not look that good overall. You do have the movie accurate red pieces here, and of course you have the windshield there, but I just overall do not think this chest looks that good, and they definitely improve on it in later editions of this figure. But the middle section here does look nicely detailed, and these blue pieces are nice. The crotch is movie accurate. The movie accurate crotch. You have some blue going on here with some nice detail all down through there. The movie accurate knee pieces coming down through here. Some more nice details. Feet, movie accurate, nice looking. The legs, I love how they were able to incorporate this into the figure. And one thing that they include on this version that they don't include on later ones that I do really appreciate is that just doesn't look as sleek as that does. And I'm really glad that they added that you could bring that piece down. I think that really adds to the figure. You do have some nice detailing there on the arms with the flames on the pieces that were the hood of the car. And overall, it looks okay. The chest really throws it off in my opinion. The legs look good though. The arms, he just doesn't look proportional. He looks like he has a huge chest. He looks like he hits chest 4 days a week, and arms and legs. Maybe he hits legs one day and arms. I don't think he does legs at all. I mean arms at all. Like nothing there. So not exactly proportional, but overall it doesn't look terrible. It gets the job done. You know it's Optimus, but also it's been really improved on. Now, there is some articulation to talk about with this figure. Oh, and one last thing to comment is the backpack there. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just meh. But anyways, the articulation, the head can do a full 360 if you can get it up high enough, but you can't. So it can't really do a full 360. It should be able to do a full 360 because it is a ball joint. But just the way the back of the head is shaped, with that piece right there, you really can't get it all the way around. Now, he can look up pretty good, and he can look down a good bit. The arms can do a full 360. These shoulder pieces can move up. The arms can also move up very high. Very nice range of motion. There, you do have a bicep swivel. You have a elbow joint of about 90 degrees. There, you have wrist rotation. Down there, you have waist rotation, which is nice. You have high kick that far. You have back kick that far. You have outwards kick not as far due to the way the tires are designed, but I'm fine with that because it gives for a more movie accurate look. The knee bend is very deep and very nice. Very nice knee bend. Love, love, love that. There is a swivel right above the knee as well. The feet can tilt up. They can tilt all the way down. And you do have ankle tilts, my personal favorite type of articulation. Now, he does, of course, include the 2 accessories that we looked at earlier in the video. And those 2 accessories, of course, being these 2 energon blades. They look the same as they did earlier. No need to go over that again. Now you can store these in the robot mode. You see they just tab in right up top there, so you just line that up and tab that in and do the same thing with the other side. Line it up and tab it in, and you can see you can have those stored up there for reasons that I don't understand why you would want to do that, but if you want to, you can. Sure, why not? Now he can, of course, wield these, and they don't tab into the forearms. They actually incorporated a new way, or at least I think at the time that this was new for how to hold these weapons. I could be wrong, but I think this was newer. And basically you take the tab and you plug it into the underside of the hand, and it has this panel that'll cover up the side of the hand, so you can just tab that into each side. And I think that that makes for a pretty cool look. It looks like it's coming out of the forearm like it does in the movie, and it's just very, very cool looking in my opinion. I really like the way that looks. And for some quick robot mode comparisons for Optimus here, we didn't really do any vehicle mode ones, but I figured we do have a couple Autobots, even though they might not be technically from the same movie. We can see how he scales with them. Here he is with 01 Bumblebee from Studio Series. You can see Bumblebee comes up about to the waist. He is posed where he's a little shorter than he actually is, but he comes up a little higher than the waist when he is standing up straight. And the other Autobot that we've taken a look at so far, make sure you check out these reviews if you haven't already, is Studio Series 04 Deluxe Ratchet. Looks very cool. Also posed down a little. He's more shoulder height when it comes to how he scales with Optimus there. And of course the final thing to talk about here with all the Studio Series figures, which is unfortunately being discontinued in the coming months, but we have it here, and that is of course the display base here. We have the Revenge of the Fallen Force Battle display base. Let's see if we can't get it all in frame, or try to. We're running out of room here, ladies and gentlemen. We have 05 of the Studio Series. You have the Revenge of the Fallen there with that authentic logo, Generations logo up there, Transformers down the side, and of course you can place Optimus right there. And it's a very nice display option. I love the way it looks. You can have him acting like he is in the forest fight from Revenge of the Fallen. And for us Michael Bay movie fans of Transformers, that's one of the best scenes in all the movies. And Optimus looks like a real G when he's fighting all those Decepticons. You'll never stop at one. I'll take you all on. So that is my review for the Transformers Studio Series 05 Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And overall, the figure isn't terrible, but it's also not great. It's right in that good category. Some of the flaws with this figure in the vehicle mode, there are some things that just don't look right, such as the smokestacks. The colorway on this figure isn't very great, and the chest and the proportions overall in the robot mode are kind of off, along with that backpack. Now, some of the good things of this figure, I think the articulation is good, and I think that he does have a decent shelf presence, and I think you can get him into really cool poses with those Energon axes that you can see I have him in right now. But also another flaw is the transformation. It's not terrible. It's not one of those transformations that make you want to throw the figure out the door and never touch it again. But it was a little frustrating, I must admit, getting him back and forth from mode to mode. Just some pieces have become floppy over time, which of course does have a time factor, but in my opinion, figures like these that you're paying even back 5 years ago when this guy came out $30 for should hold up over time, and you should be able to mess around with those years later. So overall, the Prime figure we have in front of us isn't terrible, but we also know what they can do with a Studio Series Voyager budget Optimus Prime, as we've seen since this figure came out. So we know that this guy really wasn't holding up to his highest potential. And for that, I'm going to give this Studio Series 05 Voyager class Optimus Prime, I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. He's not bad. I do think that he does have some fun value, and he does look good on the shelf. But overall, he doesn't look as good as he should, because we've seen what they can do. We've seen how much better Studio Series 32 and 44 were of this figure being a slightly remolded, and I just think they should have started off with that here. They should have took their time a little longer if they needed to and got this figure down, because they should have been able to tell that those proportions just aren't where they need to be, and that chest isn't where it needs to be. But overall, an enjoyable figure, not terrible, so a 7 out of 10 is what this figure gets. So there's my review for the Transformers Studio Series 05 Voyager class Optimus Prime, and until the next one with 06 Starscream, I'll see you then. Peace.